Those scenes and many more using live horses were filmed inside this Kmart. Hi, and welcome back to our side of the story. I'm JB Holbert, and this channel is all about storytelling, whether it's books, screenplays, or films from our side of the story. And today I get to wear a cowboy hat because we're talking horses. In this video, we're going to show you how we added horses to our movie Hazel. Hazel takes place in rural North Dakota in the winter of 1920. At that time, in North Dakota, horses were still the predominant form of transportation. Because our story takes place in the winter, horses and snow are going to be major elements in the telling of our story. Check out our episode on making snow inside the Kmart. It's a real good idea to hit that follow button or subscribe so you don't miss anything. In North Dakota, we have horses everywhere, so I didn't think it'd be any problem to find horses for our movies. I was wrong. When filming took place, I realized why you need a special kind of horse to make movies. You need movie horses. Meet Stan and Nick Schultz from Schultz Wrangling. If you've seen a movie or streaming show, from Dances with Wolves to Robin Hood, chances are you've seen Schultz Wrangling. This is a family-run business based out of the other Dakota, South Dakota. These guys have been everywhere, and they were sure they'd made it big when their image even started showing up on toilet seat covers. We threw some new elements at these movie veterans. Our movie was going to be filmed almost entirely indoors, inside our Kmart studio. The first challenge for our horses would be the tile floor. The floor would be slippery for a horse with traditional metal shoes. So a decision was made to change out the horse's footwear with rubber shoes to improve their footing. We had been working for months getting ready for filming, all along talking about the fact that we'd have horses in our building. As filming days grew closer, sets were getting ready, props were arriving, and when the horses arrived, we knew it was getting real. First thing was to get the horses used to the Kmart, which would be their workplace for the next month. Here, Zach Fashner, one of the Schultz Wranglers, works with one of the big draft horses, getting him used to the tile floor and the Kmart interior. We cleared out the garden center so they would have an indoor place to relax between shots. A different type of dressing room for sure. North Dakota was enjoying a milder than normal winter, so sometimes they'd stay in the fenced-in area just outside the garden center. It was very exciting to see the first horses making their way around inside the Kmart studio. I've had a lot of offices and a lot of desks over the years, but never one where it became common for a horse to stop by. We quickly learned that no mop and bucket was going to keep up with these horses and our tile floor that absorbed nothing. Word would come out over the walkie-talkie system that there was a cleanup in aisle 4. All of us on the cleaning crew knew to grab our shovels, mops, and Zamboni machine, absorbent product, and air freshener, and run to the scene of the incident. I gotta tell this story. On the first day with a horse on set, one of the big draft horses had just gotten to its mark, its place to stand on the set. Dan Belinsky, our director, had just yelled action, and this horse let loose with gallons of urine in the middle of the scene, in the middle of the set. It was like a garden hose on full, and I was standing nearby and ran for our cleanup equipment. It was something. It soaked into the fake snow all around that horse and shut down production for about 15 minutes. When you have a film set with cast and crew ready to film, a 15-minute delay seems like eternity. I worried we were in for a real challenge to be able to even make this movie. I can honestly say this must have been first day jitters for that horse, because although we had frequent cleanups every day with every horse, never again did we have that quantity all at once on the middle of a set in the middle of filming. Next, it's time to train the actors in the basics of horsemanship. First, Nick double checks all the tack to make sure everything is secure. Here, David Michael Reardon, who plays the brave Rufus Cook in our movie, gets a lesson from the Schultz team inside our Kmart. You can see the care of these professionals as they surround David just in case something unexpected happens. Here's Stelio Savante, who plays Hazel's troubled father in our movie, gets a lesson on driving a horse-drawn wagon from Zach Fassner. I doubt he drove a horse-drawn wagon in The Sopranos. Whenever a wagon was used in the scene, Zach is in the wagon behind the actor just for safety. Even in the scenes when the wagon appears to be a runaway with no driver at all, Zach is in that wagon driving it just out of sight. On the sets, when any kind of trick riding is required, Nick or one of the wranglers steps in as a double. Nick was used in multiple scenes in front of the volume wall. Here he doubles for Rufus in a scene where Rufus is entertaining some school children. Even the amazingly trained horses of Schultz Wrangling struggle to walk sideways. This is a great example of the trained temperament of the Schultz horses. I've owned horses. There is no chance one of my horses would have had the patience to be pushed sideways like this. I gave a lot of tours to guests of our studio. The crew of Schultz Wrangling and their horses were always the highlight. Nick and his crew were always eager to answer questions and let the visitors pose with their star horses. Whenever the horses were on the move throughout the Kmart studio, it was the job of one of the production assistants to yell, "Horses on set," so everyone was aware to be just a little extra careful around the animals. After we were done in front of the volume wall, it was time to film the horse scenes in the snowscape we had built.
Easy boy.
This is where the real professionalism of the Schultz Wranglers and their horses was most apparent. Here you can see how tight it would get at times in the snowscape. The space would fill with cast and crew, then the fog and haze machines would kick in, then the snow machines would fill the room with artificial snow blowing in the air. These horses were completely unfazed by all these distractions. You could see in the horse's face that they were ready to perform. When Dan, our director, would yell, "Action!" they were ready for their role. One other star the Schultz team brought with them was Nick's dog, Ruby. This dog has a very interesting backstory. The Schultz team had worked on the movie Rust. The filming of this movie was suddenly put on hold when a tragic accident involving one of the handguns occurred. Scenes that had been filmed before the accident involved a young puppy with half a black face and half a white face. While the movie was on hold, that dog grew up. Nick was tasked with the job of finding a matching puppy so they could continue the filming with the continuity in the timeline. Nick scoured the nation and found this cute little puppy with the same coloring at the right age named Ruby, and the show could go on. For sure, having the Schultz Wrangling crew and their amazing horses as part of our Hazel movie was a joy and a thrill. I was thrilled to work with them again this past summer, outdoors in the Badlands of North Dakota when we filmed our second movie, Medora, Empress of the Badlands. Make sure you follow us so you don't miss that episode where you will see the amazing skill of these great horsemen and horses in an environment more normal for great Dakota cowboys. We hope you enjoyed this episode of how we used horses to bring our movie to life inside our Kmart studio. Please follow us. That does make a big difference for our channel, and it'll keep you from missing the next episode when we share with you our side of the story. See you soon. I guess I'll have to put my cowboy hat away again for a while until we do our next episode on horses.